Unfortunately, this is why I'm talking about this. Unfortunately, much of that progress that you were a part of creating in other churches, not just us, much of that progress is being undermined and reversed like crazy right now. With all the political nonsense in the last few years, it has picked up speed like crazy. And here's what happened. The people fueling it are conservative. And I'm so theologically conservative. I'm even politically conservative. But this whole thing has been fueled by conservative, fearful, fundamentalist, don't have time to define that, academics and pastors. And churches, church leaders are resurrecting old barriers that we spent years tearing down, and they're adding new barriers. Now I'll give you a quick example. I texted him this morning, told him I was going to talk about him in church. One of the two people who really launched this movement way back in the late 70s is Rick Warren. Purpose-Driven Life. Before he wrote The Purpose-Driven Life, he wrote The Purpose-Driven Church. That book sold millions of copies to pastors, and it was a book about how to create a church that's for outsiders, for unchurched people. I mean, he inspired so many of us, right, to help get the church back on mission. He is a modern church reformer. There's no way around it. Last year, some of you know about this, last year, his denomination kicked him out of the denomination. For something immoral? No. Something illegal? No. Something that had to do with money? No. Because he's had some addiction? No. None of that, glamorous stuff, right? They kicked him out because he had the nerve to ordain 3 female staff members who were functioning as pastors. He ordained them as pastors, which is actually a legal status. It gave them a tax benefit. They're doing the work of all the other male pastors. He's like, well, why in the world would we not make them pastors? They're pastoring. And they weren't going to go out and lead a church. They were working on his staff. He ordained 3 women, and they kicked him out of the church. You don't get any more insider focus than that. And there's example after example after example after example after example. And here's the problem. Evangelical leaders, and I consider myself evangelical. Not evangelistic, that's different, and evangelistic, but evangelical. Evangelical leaders are prioritizing politics over mission. And the people in their churches are buying it hook, line, and sinker, and globbing on all their political views. And my political views are as strong as your political views, and mine are right, okay? Just want to let you know right up front, okay? You think yours are, not right, because we all feel that. You wouldn't have a view if you didn't think it was the right thing to do, right? But they have elevated politics, and here's what they've done. They've taken Old Testament or Old Covenant terminology, Old Covenant stories, blended it with their politics, and globbed it onto the message and the person of Jesus. And it's just sick. And they're prioritizing politics over mission.